I always felt that what it was about was, as a program, as a program at a university, what it was about was allowing and encouraging students to ask the right questions.
Welcome to the School of Environment, Resources and Sustainability at the University of Waterloo. This program is recognized for its research without boundaries, interdisciplinary studies, and emphasis on problem solving through practical application. The department began under the name Man and Environment in 1969 as a collaborative effort between geography, engineering, and planning professionals.
Well, I think the fundamentals are just learning about the world that we are in, because it does change. Mm-hmm. And just keeping track, the geopolitics of our time is changing faster than perhaps we expect. We're not too sure which direction it is going, but most of us want to make sure it would be towards a world which is fundamentally decent and it's also sustainable.
There was no other post-secondary program that offered integrated learning in environmental studies between the sciences and the humanities. This was coupled with seminar-based classes and hands-on learning approaches.
I found the whole approach quite wonderful, very innovative, very drawing on a kind of an openness to new ideas from all of us who were coming in, of course, from dozens of different fields, which was also very unusual.
Students graduated from the program with experience in academic writing and journalism through the department's close relationship with Alternatives Journal. This provided students with an opportunity to not only explore their interest in communicating environmental issues, but to put it into practice. As the years passed and public interest in environmental studies grew, the department came to realize that the name needed to reflect the work being carried out.
At that time, the term man was meant to stand for human beings. And that became untenable, I think probably correctly. And so the name change was to move away from something that at that point did not sound very open to everybody, towards something that did.
While inclusivity was very important for incoming students, others insisted the name change was actually because high school students would never look under the letter M for their university degree program. They decided on Environment Resource Studies in the early 1980s.
It's really about understanding those tensions, understanding where they can help us create better lives for people and how we can be less harmful on the environment and how we can sort of do that in harmony.
It's a student that wants to discover what they're good at and what drives them, and then tailor a program somewhat to that. With under this massive umbrella, I think it's a really good place to be.
The Faculty of Environment was amazing. I really enjoyed that. Now I see the value much more after I've graduated in comparison to some other students that didn't have the interdisciplinary background that we were able to get. So I think that was something I really enjoyed while there, the freedom to choose different courses. I don't just focus on one subject matter, so it really fit me well, and I can see the value of it in jobs I've had since.
Students have often told me over the years the undergraduate program with that flexibility is something that they feel it empowers them. They've got that core that gives them the idea, the foundation, and the strength and knowledge to then explore and dig deep in.
Despite the shifts in technology and research focus over the years, the priorities of the department remain the same. Skills in problem solving, communication, systems thinking, and data analysis continue to be at the forefront of teaching in the School of Environment, Resources and Sustainability. While this takes care of academics, the program is unique in the opportunities offered to students and the experiences they have while studying at the University of Waterloo.
And it's one of the reasons why I really like ERS. It's one thing to see it on a PowerPoint, but it's another thing to actually see it up close and personal and actually apply what you've learned out into the field or in the workplace.
I was really interested in co-op. That was part of the reason why I actually chose ERS, because I had realized at that point in my life that I got the most direction for where I wanted to go by actually trying out these jobs. I first thought that I wanted to be a vet, then worked in a vet office. That didn't work out, and then I was like, perhaps environment, tried an environment job, and then was really on board with that. And so co-op, I realized, was a time for me to narrow down whether I wanted to go potentially to forestry or if policy was my thing, and yeah.
And the Meet the Prof nights, those were some interesting times. I think my first Meet the Prof night, that was definitely the day that the stigma of profs being really closed and reserved was shattered 100%. I found out that a lot of professors, they really take the initiative to actually learn your first name, understand your own background, and thereon help supplement your education with your learning style.
That was another thing that I really valued upon meeting them, is that they actually want to know what you're passionate about, and they ask you that at these events and suggest avenues for exploring those passions or collaborating.
It was a really fun experience, definitely memorable. I remember coming in and being a little bit nervous because, of course, it's the first 2 weeks of school. I didn't know anyone that was there at all, so I was a little bit nervous starting off, but it was a great week to get to know everybody.
People like that when they see that somebody's keen and interested in what they're doing, and they'll open right up and they'll tell you all about what they're doing because they're interested in telling you their story. And Waterloo, I think, is very, very, very unique for that, because you're always on the move, you're always looking for the next opportunity, you're always on your toes.
And it's something different than just seeing each other in class, and that kind of creates like a depth of connection you can carry through for the rest of your years on campus. So I think that was a great experience.
Well, it's so fundamental and basic to me, the understanding that nothing would exist without the earth that we live on. And it's not often that we really reflect on that. And so coming from that place is, I think, very important for living your life. And any job, any way you interact with it, the home you buy, whether or not you drive a vehicle, whether you live in a city or not, whether you travel the world or you don't, you have to constantly sort of reflect and look around you. And I think having a background in environmental studies means that you've recognized that importance.
We're all bound by this passion for learning about environment and sustainability, so there's lots that connects us.
Passionate, I think that's one that is a must. It's not a course that you can go through apathetically.
I knew I'd landed somewhere I wanted to be.
One thinks of university departments that have been around a while, we have this tradition and that tradition. We weren't big into traditions. We were sort of big into playing it by ear. I think that was our tradition.
The School of Environment, Resources and Sustainability at the University of Waterloo.